Torah tells us regarding the installation of Aaron and his sons to be Kohanim, they had to have vestments, holy vestments known as Bigdei Kuna. Osisa Bigdei Kodesh l'Aaron Ochicha l'Chaver Sifores. You should make holy vestments for Aaron, your brother, l'Kavod Sifores, for kavod, for honor and for glory. We mentioned in the past. The Gemara tells in Avodah Zarah, there was a question that was asked to Rabbi Akiva, that Moshe Rabbeinu officiated for 7 days. Aaron and his children were only installed to be Kohanim only on the 8th day. This was the Shmonis Yemei HaMiluim. But the 7 days, Moshe Rabbeinu officiated like a Kohen. So the Gemara asks, what vestments did he wear? So the Gemara answers, he wore cholok lavon. He wore a white tunic. That's what he wore. So the question is, what does that mean? Was that his vestment? Or he didn't need a vestment? So the Shalom HaKodesh explains that initially, what was the vestment of a person? The objective of his creation was the person should serve Hashem, l'chavodi barosiv. The human being being in the Tzelem Elokim, being in God's image, doing His will, submitting to His will, dedicating your life to His will, that's the service. What's the vestment? The body is the vestment of the neshama, of the soul. What happened? And that vestment was created by God. That physical vestment, which has relevance to the neshama, because Adam ate of the Eitz HaDaas, he putrefied the vestment. The Gemara tells us that if the vestments are literally dirty, soiled in a very serious way, if the Kohen officiates in that vestment, it's not valid. Because the Gemara tells us it's only when Bigdeim Aleim Kunosim Aleim, only when they officiate in proper vestments, only then are they considered Kohanim within the context of Avodah. But if the vestment is not a proper vestment, it's not a valid avodah. The service is not valid. So the initial vestment that was given, that man was endowed with, was one's body. The body became invalidated. Therefore, as a result of this, we needed Bigdei Kula Chovot Tiferes. We needed, Aaron had to have special vestments made that were ketavnis, at the form that Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu on the mountain. How exactly those vestments are the equivalent of the body, what the body initially was. This Aaron had to wear. Only then did he function, did he officiate in the capacity of Kohen Gadol and his children as ordinary Kohanim. Moshe Rabbeinu, because of who he was, his purity, that Nachnu Mod, that there wasn't a trace of himself, it was all dedicated to Hashem, he needed no vestment. So when the Gemara answers, he wore cholok lovam, it's not that the cholok lovam was the vestment. It was only to cover his nakedness. That's the only reason why he had to wear the white tunic. But what was his vestment? His vestment was his body. His body was the vestment. We find, the Torah tells us that describes his physical condition when he passed away. Lo kosaeno, lo noslecho. His eye was perfect. His vibrancy was the same, and Rashi says, even the grave. He did not in any way, did life in any way cause him to his power, his youth to wane whatsoever. What's the reason? So the Maharal explains, because he was not affected by the physical world as much as an iota. Every physical being is affected to some degree. Moshe Rabbeinu affected, he was unaffected. And because he was unaffected, there was no diminishment in his being. And he purified it, he sanctified it. As a result of this, for him, what did he officiate in? Cholok Lovav. The Cholok Lovav was not the vestment, but rather his body was his vestment.